Hey everybody, man, what an awesome day out here today. The sun's out, starting to heat up. I just love this time of year, getting into prime hiking season. I'm just so much looking forward to some great hikes this year. So today I've got some hacks and tips for older hikers. So these are just things I've picked up on the trail over the years. I think you'll find these interesting and helpful, so let's check them out.
Hack number 1 is to protect your knees.
So the first hack I have for you, or tip, is actually a piece of gear, and it's this foam knee pad. You know, it's amazing over the years how many times I've used this foam pad on the trail. Whether I'm backpacking or even a day hike, I'll throw this in my pack. So I use it if we stop, say, to sit down on a log or sit down on a rock. I'll pull it out real quick and just use it for extra padding. But also I've sat on a log before and didn't realize it, and the log was wet, so I get up and now I'm having to, hike around the rest of the day with a wet bottom. So this also protects you, from getting wet. But the main use for this is to protect my knees. So let's say I'm filling up my water bottle. You're bending over at a creek, dipping your water bottle in. And you got a lot of pressure on your knee. I'll just take this out and throw this out underneath my knee as a pad. Also, I'll use it in the evenings as I'm setting up my tent. So as I'm going around putting in my tent stakes, I'll take out this pad and put it underneath my knee for protection for my knee. Also in the morning, when I'm rolling up my tent, usually it's kind of damp or wet in the morning, so it protects my knees from getting muddy and wet, but also protects my knees in that case as well. So I'll tell you a quick story about protecting your knees. So last year I was on my property in Colorado working. I think I was working up underneath my camper, and I had knelt down. I was working for a while and on my left knee, and then when I got up I noticed I had knelt down on a little pebble. A little rock had gotten on my knee. Just bad luck that I had kneeled down on that pebble. I didn't think too much about it, but a couple days later my knee swelled up, had to go to the doctor, had to take some prednisone pills. Turned out to be okay, but I could have avoided that entire situation if I would have knelt down on a knee pad. So as an older hiker, you just want to take extra precautions to protect your knees on the trail, and this is a great way to do that. I think I paid $10 for this on Amazon. It weighs a couple ounces. Now it does take up some space. I put it on the outside of my pack, so I've got my water bottle on one side and I've got this on the other side, easy to get to, and great location to not fill up your pack. So with that, on to hack number 2.
Next up are lunchtime hacks.
When I'm on the trail, most of the time I feel energized, I feel strong, I feel like I can keep up with the younger guys. And I've got a secret that I think contributes to that, and I'm going to share that secret with you today. That's going to be hack number 2. And that is to take a power nap during lunch. Now by power nap, I mean a 10 to 20 minute nap. If you sleep longer than 20 minutes, you wake up groggy and it can have the reverse effect. But a 10 to 20 minute nap, there's been a lot of research done around power naps, and it shows that if you have a power nap, you wake up energized, you wake up focused with mental clarity. And so what I do when I'm on the trail is during lunch, right after I eat lunch, I'll just lay down right there on the trail and take a nap. Now what I'll do, I'll take my foam pad that I talked about earlier, I'll put that on my hip, I'll take my puffy and use that as a pillow and just kind of lay down right there. Now I usually kind of move out of camp if there's some other folks having lunch in the camp, maybe move out a little bit. I try to find a nice grassy area. That's ideal. And I mean, if the sun is beating down on you, oh man, it's even nicer to lay there in the sun. But I've even done this out west on rocky trails. With that foam pad, with that puffy, I'll lay down right there and I can get a really good nap. Now, do I always go fully asleep? Not always, but even in either case, whether I fall fully asleep or just rest, having that 10 to 20 minute nap really energizes me and gets me ready for the second half of the day. I wake up energized, ready to go. So hey, I know it sounds a little bit cheesy, but give it a try on your next hike. I think especially for older hikers, it can really make a difference, really give you that energy boost you need to tackle the second part of the day. Now on to hack number 3.
Hacks for better sleep.
Now the next set of hacks are around getting good sleep. You know, as older hikers, it's important that we get good sleep at night. So I was having an issue with my sleeping pad sliding around on the bottom of my tent. So the next hack is to use this mesh. So this is just a mesh. My wife uses these for drawer liners and cabinet liners. So that's just what this is. I picked it up. It's kind of a rubbery material. But I put this underneath my sleeping pad, so between my sleeping pad and the bottom of the tent, and that keeps it from sliding around in the tent so much. Also, my sleeping pad has this tab where I can tie a piece of string to, and then I tie that to the pocket in my tent, and that also keeps it from sliding around at night. So that's been very helpful for me. Another tip to get good sleep is to have a reminder to use the bathroom before you get in your tent to go to sleep at night. So I can't tell you how many times I've gotten in my tent, you know, I take my shoes off, I get in my tent, it's dark, you know, I'm ready to go to sleep, you know, I get undressed, get in my sleeping bag, and zip up my sleeping bag nice and cozy, and oh man, I forgot to take a whiz before I go to bed. So if I don't do that before I go to bed, I know I'm gonna have to get up in the middle of the night, so I don't like that. So, you know, I would try to remember, but it seems like I would always forget to do that until I get in my sleeping bag. So I just got to where I would take a handkerchief and zip that up in my tent, and that would be kind of like a reminder as I'm going to my tent at night to go take a whiz before I get in my tent. And that's been helpful for me. Another thing I've heard people do, now I can make it through the full night without having to go to the bathroom, but some people have to wake up in the middle of the night and go, well, you don't want to get dressed, get out, and then get back in. So they have a bottle in the tent that they use, you know, to go to the bathroom in the tent so they don't have to go out. But the hack there is to take some rocks and put in that bottle, you know, so you feel the rocks shaking around. I mean, last thing you want to do is, you know, wake up at night, you're thirsty, reach over, get you some drink, and grab the wrong bottle. That would not be a good deal. So put some rocks in there, you'll feel the rocks shaking around, you know, okay, that's my bathroom bottle. So with that, on to hack number 4.
Foot care hacks.
Hey, this last hack is around foot care. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. We really appreciate that, and it helps other people find the video. So when I'm hiking, usually later in the day when I stop to fill my water bottle at a creek, I like to take my shoes and socks off and soak my feet in the creek. You know, it can take dirt and grime off your feet, which I've read can lead to blisters, but mostly it's just very refreshing to soak your feet in the cold water. It can even reduce swelling. And then, you know, of course, I'll use my bandana to dry my feet, make sure they air dry real good before I put my socks and shoes back on. Another thing I like to do, in fact, I kind of do this more because I don't always have time to soak my feet, is if I stop on the trail for a short break, you know, 5-10 minutes, just anywhere on the trail, I'm sitting in my camp chair, I'll peel off my socks and shoes and let my feet breathe. I also find that very refreshing. So hey, I hope you found these hacks useful. I sure did enjoy bringing them to you. I've picked out another video I think you'll really like. With that, I wish you the very best on the trail. Happy hiking, and God bless.